All right, Dennis Stauber first in the house tonight. Big D checking in from Marengo, Illinois. Right behind him, Bruno Coppola. Laconia, New Hampshire, where the 99th rally just finished. It's official. Hell may have frozen over. That's right, we're on time. Does anyone know the host motel yet? Good question. So we'll talk about that tonight. Obviously, Brian's talking about smokeout. Smokeout is going off like a runaway train. I'm so excited. It looks like this is going to be one crazy time. We'll talk about the host hotel. Actually, you can check out all of the hotels that we're working with in the area. I believe there's like 6 of them in Salisbury. They're on thesmokeoutrally.com, along with a ton of other information. Hey, we're getting ready to go live with this one. I'm Chris from Cycle Source Magazine. I'm going to be your host for 90 to 120 minutes of all the two-wheeled motorcycle bullshit we can fit. Great show tonight, and things are heating up. We're looking at Sturgis like the barrel of a gun, but tons of events to happen between here and there. And we're going to talk about a bunch of the stuff we've been doing here at headquarters, getting ready for all this great stuff, and getting ready for Smokeout. Shop Talk going live in 2.5. Stick around. Let's see them comments. Mike Draco in the house with us. Good to see you. Jeff Spalding. Another month before surgery. No, South Dakota surgery. Rob Doer in the house. Greg White. Greg, I owe you a phone call. I'm so sorry. Greg reminding us that today is Father's Day.
Oh, man.
Father's Day. It's like the consolation prize of holidays. You know what I mean? There's like all these other great holidays that people get presents and cards and all this great stuff. And then Father's Day. It's kind of a hearty handshake and a good job there, Dad. Oh, man. So, Greg White, yeah, congrats on the new bike. Gary Raphael in the house with us tonight. Gonna be awesome, man. Everybody's starting to pull in. The lot is filling up outside. We're getting ready to go live with this one in 1.5 minutes. Listen, don't just be an observer. Shop Talk's about getting involved. We want to hear from you. Don't just let us babble on like a bunch of idiots. That comment box that you see on the screen, that'll be on and off throughout the show. And anywhere you're watching from, you are welcome to put your questions, comments, and concerns in there. And we'll try to bring them up throughout the show. If nothing else, tell us what we're doing wrong. Going live in just a minute. Some of our greatest people here in the world. Steve Burrows is with us tonight. Lance Baxter. It looks like Ashley Woodford's in the house. God, awesome. And we're running the countdown right out the back door. I guess it's time to get this one out of the station, up on the rails. Let's go live with tonight's episode of Shop Talk. Here we go. Okay, scooter tramps and chopper jockeys all across the land. It is just after 9 p.m., 9:01. Closest we've been to being on time, I think, maybe ever. It means it's time for another episode of Shop Talk, Sunday night's favorite motorcycle program. It's good to have you guys here. I'm Chris with Cycle Source Magazine. I'm going to be your host. As always, I'm joined by the crew.
Hey.
Heather has a big girl microphone and camera tonight, Mark. Can you even handle it?
She's all grown up.
I know. I'm so proud of her.
I'm the tiny acorn.
She's mean to me, but she's all grown up.
Oh, please.
Listen, I'm going to agree with him. So here's the deal. Get the picture out. Let's talk shit right off the bat.
Oh, we're jumping right
Because
into it.
it's Father's Day. You know what I mean? Like, I think that certain latitudes should be afforded to a man on Father's Day. Call me crazy.
Can we get it up there?
Hang on, let me go to Mark, because this is the item that's on the table to talk about. So Mark has an opportunity to buy this wonderful old pickup truck roller.
It's a beautiful old truck.
Now, let me fill you in on the backstory here. Mark has had a rolling chassis that he...
Oh, boy.
See that? See the mute button? So Mark has had a rolling chassis that he bought from Big Rick
Like 100
Hoffman.
years ago.
I know, and
We've
he's
been looking for the right piece to go on it. There's the issue.
Actually, you don't know, so you just hold your horses.
Just hang on and let me
Just
tell the
hang
rest
on.
of the story. So he's had this chassis, bench-built motor, tranny, has a 9-inch rear end.
Ready to roll.
Everything is ready on it. It needs a body put on it, and it can be driven and sold.
Let's keep in mind, I could have bought 40 Ford bodies.
Right.
I won't put a Ford body with a Chevy motor. It's not, you know what I mean? You just don't cross paths there. Mm-hmm. So Chevy finally found the Chevy that I want. You know, unless somebody else out there has something nicer, you know, you can always. But I think we should do a poll tonight on who
Absolutely.
thinks that I should get this.
You absolutely,
we
Mark, you should get it and put it at your house.
Have you seen all the things at my house?
That is not my problem.
wait,
That's
it-
why they are at your house.
It is a little bit your problem.
It is.
You
Yeah,
feel
some of
for
that,
me.
No.
some of that stuff. Some of that stuff. Don't push it.
Why? What is
You
yours
feel
that's
for me.
there?
Oh, half of the shit that's in his trailer is mine.
Oh, Christopher Lewis.
But this is what I'm saying. There's an opportunity here.
So if I'm pouty tonight, everybody knows why.
There's
Because
an
I'm always in such a
opportunity.
good mood.
There's an opportunity here to put this body on this chassis.
Shall I go down the list of
And-
things that there's been an opportunity to make money on
I'm just saying
that are still
Thi-
sitting there?
This is what happens if
Wah,
that
wah,
chassis
wah, wah,
meets that
wah.
roller
Yep.
right there.
No. No.
All
right.
If I cry anywhere through the show, everybody knows why.
So it is Father's
I'll bring you
Day.
a hanky,
It is Father's Day. I want to
and you
wish
can make it dance.
everybody who has suffered the rigors of childbearing or child raising, however you want to say it. I don't want to get political here.
Oh, boy.
You call it what you want, baby. But anybody who has had a kid and gets the right to claim today as a holiday, we want to wish you a happy Father's Day. It's a special day for us, and my daughter got me the most bitchin' present. Like, out of the blue, she's on the road somewhere doing her big girl theater life stuff, and she calls me up and FaceTimes with me so that I can open my Father's Day card and my present. This is what she got me. So like, if anyone knows about this whole Pop Funko thing, I think they're ridiculous. I don't understand it. They're little cartoon statues of stuff until she found Ratfink as a Funko.
And
now,
she finds you the coolest ones. She got you Ratfink, she got you Evel Knievel, and she got you Lemmy.
I know she did get
Like,
Lemmy.
you have a Lemmy Pop Funko. That's
Yeah, that's pretty
She
cool.
did get Lemmy. She did get Lemmy. So anyway, that was my big Father's Day present. That and Smalls got me a humongous card, but
and Nugget.
I don't know how they signed it.
Did he pee on it?
No, like huge. And I have to say, just on a serious note, like, I have to thank you for when somebody else stepped out, you stepped up, and you truly became a father.
Oh.
like to a teenage girl, like in the middle of the worst possible time in her life. She's a teenager. She's moving. It's her senior year. She's got all this stuff
Dude,
going on. And
Mark,
like,
do you remember how upset she was with all of us? She hated everyone. We made that poor girl move 600 miles in her senior year. She didn't want to talk to anybody.
But on the other note, she came to real fast and, jumped in. So, I mean, obviously, you can't help but to love us. You know?
Right.
For
But no,
Christ's sake.
you seriously stepped up, and like that takes a very special person to do that.
I'd give him some
especially.
credit, but I'd never do that live in public in front of anybody.
Hey,
You know what I mean?
listen, it was a blast. You know, all the years not having kids of my own, at least any that were brought to my attention.
Wow.
I'm just saying.
I keep waiting for that.
It was an absolute blast, though. You know, getting to know Amelia was like getting to know myself. It's kind of scary. So
She did bring a bit of a light into the whole crappy situation we have going on right here. So,
and she found a way to make it her own. I mean, we still have people that ask about her and when she's gonna be, when she's gonna be doing stuff again, and they love to read her column. So, hey, listen, lots of stuff to get to with the show tonight. Greg White mentions that he has Slayer and ZZ Top Funkos.
nice.
Ooh.
Absolutely. Don from the Chase is in. I know him.
Don Gilmore.
Don Gilmore, Chase Rider. Lots of stuff to get to tonight. We're going to cut right now to the first thing we always do, your favorite and mine, little program we like to call the news. The Shop Talk World Report is brought to you by Law Tigers. Get the compensation you deserve and get back on the road with Law Tigers. If you wonder why I was stammering, it's because I could hardly contain myself to get to this first story. I promised Mark and Heather in pre-show that I wasn't going to refer to this as batshit crazy, but it absolutely is.
Booyah!
Johnny Depp's Crybaby 1955 Harley-Davidson KH auction. So...
Wow.
whatever. If you saw Crybaby,
$250,000 is the opening bid.
1990 John Waters film starring Johnny Depp, you probably shed a tear of your own when Wade Walker's 1955 Harley-Davidson KH was destroyed in the movie. However, this is Hollywood and the demolished motorcycle. I want to get to the shit talking so bad.
You ain't kidding. I got like 12 of them.
So... blah, 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 Johnny Depp, blah, blah, blah. You know why he's selling that, right?
Oh my God.
You know why he's selling.
Is there any iota of professionalism in
Absolutely.
this
Hell
program?
no. Did you see any of that court case?
Oh my
No.
God.
Dude, that went
I
right
couldn't
out the
waste
window.
any brain cells on
Listen.
it. It was so ridiculous.
You had to. You had to. If
No.
you suffered through any of the great catastrophes of like OJ and all the bullshit that's been televised, that was without a doubt
Oh, it was
the
ridiculous.
most ridiculous thing that I've ever saw on television.
I think it was most ridiculous because it actually wasted that
me
much.
too. I feel the
that
same
much
way.
of people's headspace.
Yep.
Like, it was on the news every day. Like, it was ridiculous.
It's most ridiculous that people have enough money to live crazy ass lives like that. Like some of the shit that they did.
Are you just jealous?
I am.
We should have had a picture of it in a cocaine frenzy laying on its side, or like a picture of the bike poop in the bed.
Bill
you know?
Stevens said, "Wonder if she pooped on that." That was the best part.
Oh my
You
God.
pissed your old lady off when she goes into your bedroom and poops on your pillow.
That's nuts.
That's move on.
I just can't.
the
It's
sad,
that good.
The sad part about it is they're going to do nothing but make money on that.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
How ridiculous.
It didn't matter
People
at
need
the
to
end of
mind
the
their
day.
own effing business.
It
for
didn't
5
matter at the
minutes.
end of the day who won or lost that case.
Right.
We lost. They won.
Yeah,
and I'll prove it to you when both of their books about the shit are in the bestseller category.
Yeah, exactly. It's ridiculous. And people get up and go to work and kill themselves every day and can't make a living. Sad.
Chris, maybe you can be the next Jack Sparrow.
I can't.
Oh boy.
Wow, you do a pretty good Jack Sparrow.
He's ruined the character.
Yeah. And the pearl's gone.
So next up in the news, AMA. America's Outdoor Recreation Act receives unanimous committee vote. America's Outdoor Recreation Act of 22 sailed through the Senate Committee on Energy and Natural Resources without a single dissenting partisan vote. Introduced by committee chairman Joe Manchin of West Virginia and Joe Barrasso of Wyoming, the landmark legislation comes with a bevy AMA-supported acts: the Colorado Outdoor Recreation and Economy Act, the Simplifying Access to Outdoor Recreation Act, Recreation Not Red Tape Act, the Gateway Community and Recreate. You ever wonder what the people in government are actually doing while we're paying taxes, while we're finding ways to pay taxes for them to do all of this shit? They're coming up with 53 different ways to call the same work something different.
An act. It's ridiculous.
That's a bunch of bullshit act. How about that? Let's call it that. So anyway, the act aims to enhance outdoor recreation opportunities on land managed by the federal government. They might as well do something with it. Right?
Whatever.
It's going to be a long show, Heather.
Can I just tap out now?
No.
I'll come back at the end one at a time to
Not
do.
allowed.
No, we're just getting ready to talk about the 22 Distinguished Gentlemen's Ride.
We have a guest.
And it broke record, nearly $6 million raised for prostate cancer research and mental health. Now, this is definitely every year. It's a topic that's near and dear to Heather's heart because she lost.
Yeah, we need to start partaking in this. Mm-hmm. Like,
I agree.
Yeah. Just
For
straight
a lot
up,
of
we
years,
need to start doing it.
For a lot of years, Mark, and you'll remember this when Heather was still doing a lot of the operation stuff with Broken Spoke. She had her own event that went for prostate cancer research, and that was in the name of her late father who passed away from that illness.
You know, maybe I should do that again. In 4 years, just my little charity that we did, and I just did a small event up in Laconia. I was able to donate $24,000 to the local hospital for prostate cancer patients, and it was specifically to the underfunded prostate cancer patients. So maybe we should, Cycle Source should take that up again. I don't know.
Well, after 2 years of pandemic-related social distancing and solo riding, the Distinguished Gentleman's Ride returned to pre-COVID fashion on Sunday, June 5th. The response was record-breaking. The global event, which takes place alongside Movember, raised close to $6 million to help fight prostate cancer, support mental health, and prevent suicide among men. Big kudos out to everybody who participated in that. So that thing, Heather, give everybody a little bit of backline on what the Distinguished Gentleman's Ride is.
So it's kind of a kitschy event, so to speak, and it goes right along with the title is everybody dresses in period correct for their motorcycle, suits and proper attire to be a distinguished gentleman. And they get sponsors, and there's different events throughout the world actually on that one day. And you can host your own event in your city, and you can have teams, or you can just go out and ride on that day and people sponsor you, kind of almost like a walkathon type deal.
Right on.
But it all goes towards men's health, and I think it's a super good thing.
Hey, can I lighten the mood up a little bit with a
Please.
suggestion? Okay, so I think Cycle Source should do our own event, but we shouldn't crowd them, right?
No.
We should let them have their thing. And instead of, moving in on the distinguished gentleman part, because we can't be distinguished, so we should be the dirty biker bastards, and our money should go towards testicular cancer research.
No.
Man, there you are with that word again today.
That's a new word.
You had me right up until that, but I actually kind of like that. The only thing I would like to do is offer on-site PSA screening, which we can do, and you can get the results in the privacy of your own home.
Way to take it to a serious place again, Heather.
It is serious.
I know, but
Hey,
I said, can I lighten
wait a
the
minute.
mood up?
I'm going to borrow Flash's line for a minute.
Don't be a
douche.
Okay, back to the news. How about that? How you like me now?
Back to the news, Larry.
Wallace to serve as 20. Did she really say that?
Yep.
Where did you learn that line?
I don't know.
Wow.
I just made...
Wallace to serve 22 Sturgis Motorcycle Rally Grand Marshal. So Rusty Wallace has been doing a lot of stuff with his Southern Comfort Customs.
Yeah, Southern Comfort
Did I say it right?
Southern Country Customs.
Southern Country Customs.
Southern Comfort is
you
an
went Southern
alcoholic
Comfort.
beverage.
We were all drunk
I
there
know,
for a second.
That's it. But he's been killing it with that. They're building bikes like crazy and having a great time. But in Sturgis, racing legend Rusty Wallace has been named the Grand Marshal for the 22 Sturgis Motorcycle Rally. Wallace was a 1989 NASCAR Cup Series champion, 1984 Rookie of the Year, 55-time Cup Series race winner. His accomplishments have been widely recognized both on and off the track. He's a member of NASCAR Hall of Fame, International Motorsports Hall of Fame, National Motorsports Press Association Hall of Fame, and Missouri Sports Hall of Fame. Wallace is known to many for his work as lead analyst of MRN Radio, the voice of NASCAR. Now, here's the thing about this, though, that they don't talk about. Anyone who has known this cat for a long time, like, we've always had the privilege of seeing him in the crowd. Like, he would, not in the crowd, obviously. He always got all access pass to whatever we were doing, but he was always there. I mean, like,
such a nice guy,
cat,
too.
And he's been as much a staple in Sturgis as the damn statues.
Yeah.
You know, so.
And, like, he's one of those guys that has done it all, and yet he's so approachable. He's just a really nice guy.
Oh, he's a
Fun
good
to
old,
talk
good
to,
old country boy.
Yeah,
good old
guy
country
to
boy.
talk to.
So, hey, man, we're going to take a quick 2-minute break here and take a look at a feature bike. And this is actually one that we got in from our partners over at Drag Specialities. We love sharing every year when they have the cover bike from the catalog, the old book, and the big book. We love having their bikes in the magazine and on the show. So we're going to take a second to look at that. When we come back on the other side, we're going to go straight to our guest. Don't go anywhere. You're watching Shop Talk through the courtesy of the Dennis Kirk Motorcycle Studio. We'll be right back.
How you doing? I'm Dave DePore from DD Custom Cycle, located in Lakeville, Illinois. The entire build started with the platform of a 2018 Road Glide, and the whole goal was to actually make a bike that looks like it's going fast sitting still, long, low, tough. It's got that fat, mean stance with the big tire in the front, and still make it flowing from front to rear, using as many parts as I could out of the catalog. My whole theory is less is more, and keep it in the details. So every part of the bike has 99% of the parts can be seen in the catalog, and from various vendors, all high-end parts and accessories. Then anybody can turn to a page, find that part, order it, and they can build a bike very similar to it. I took the performance market with all the gold accents from Performance Machine, the mid controls, radial brakes front and rear, all of which are seen on the performance builds. And combined it with the fat tire craze, which is very popular now as well. Made the entire bike look like it's moving but sitting still, with a long, low, tucked appearance, like a hot rod, like an old 51 Mercury. It draws attention, I'll just say that. I got a lot of Nick Trask parts on the bike, Performance Machine. We got Legend suspension at the rear, a Paul Yaffe stretch tank, Nick Trask risers with the motocross style T-bars, which gives it that performance style. Performance Machine new handlebar controls with gold accents. Tons of custom dynamics lighting features for 2022. It does have sequential lighting at the back, which is their newest module they just introduced. So you can take up to 5 LEDs and sequentially illuminate them from left to right or right to left, depending on how they're installed. The bike ride's amazing. The T-bars give you that comfort, that sitting stance where your feet are in the mid-control position like you're sitting in a chair. You can throw it in the left, throw it right, wherever you want. It's got the chain conversion at the back, tons of power. The bike brakes with the dual radial brakes up front and the radial rear on the billet swing arm by Trask, all of which are just amazing details and features on the bike that make it truly rideable, and it's not just a showpiece. Paint job started out as a Porsche Voodoo blue color. Jason and I had spoke, and I wanted to incorporate gold to tie in all the gold colors on all the Performance Machine parts. The Nick Trask swing arm that we anodized gold as well as the risers, the Gold Ops wheels. The final product is awesome. I love it. Everyone that's seen the bike just loves it. I will say Drag Specialities is the best aftermarket parts source and supplier by far. You've got the most parts, the delivery times, 1 to 3 days, depending on what warehouse it comes from. You can't ask for anything more than that. The part selection, the amount of vendors, the amount of choices and options is huge.
riding takes you from A to B or just lets you escape, there's a flow to the road you share. So go with it. Eyes open, and always have the Law Tigers by your side. If you've been injured in a motorcycle accident, visit us at lawtigers.com. Law Tigers, America's motorcycle lawyers.
Hey Michelle, I'm making a trophy for a old school chopper show at the Full Throttle Saloon, Monday, August 8th, Sturgis. There's no winner or loser at this show. However, we're going to be giving out this trophy for the Baker Drivetrain Best in Show pick. Be there, be square, see you in Sturgis. Bert fucking Baker, TV.
All right, hey, welcome back to the Dennis Kirk studio. You're watching Shop Talk live every Sunday at 9 p.m. here in the Cycle Source Magazine World Headquarters, 50 floors below the street level. Hey, man, before we go any further with the show tonight, I want to take one moment and pass along some serious news. Our very good buddy, Negotiable Parts Tim, passed away this past week, and we didn't get a chance. You know, everybody was posting everything on Facebook and Instagram. We didn't get a chance to send along our condolences, but the motorcycle industry will largely have a deficit without his benefit. So,
Yeah. Good guy.
Yeah, buddy. That was a sad one.
Another hit home one.
I know, dude. I know. The good ones. And see, and that's what they say. Only the good die young. Oh. Me and you, we're going to be 102.
Oh, Mark's going to live till he's 200.
No, so excited.
Because you keep wishing it on him. Hey, so we got...
Because I love him so much.
we got a great guest tonight, smart ass.
Oh.
Let's let that one.
That's my thing.
Booyah!
Sorry.
She was too busy ripping on me.
Yeah, how about the cue?
Loser.
The cue. So tonight's guest, I don't know how many of you know him. Probably everybody, because his new podcast is taking off like wildfire and a drought. It's ridiculous. Motorcycle Knuckle Busters host Mario Krim is with us tonight. But he's not just the host of Motorcycle Knuckle Busters. He does so many cool things within our industry. And I've known him peripherally for, a couple of years now.
Say that 3 times.
Somebody
fast.
give her a quarter. That's a big word.
For a couple of years now. So I thought, what a better way to get to know him than live on the air with all of you.
All right, let's check him out.
Just Hanging Out in the Shop is brought to you by Spectral Oils. Made in USA since 1966, the best oil on planet Earth.
Mario, what's up, man?
Hey, just here in Illinois, just a few miles from Lake Villa, where that drag specialty bike was built. So that was pretty cool to see. I recognized some of the backdrop there. But Heather, thanks for the introduction, and Chris and Mark, really appreciate you guys having me on. It's gonna be a lot of fun to talk.
Oh, it's our pleasure, man. Like Heather was saying in that intro, it's amazing when we see someone else doing so much stuff in this industry. It's nice to see that. Like, people are always telling us how much stuff that we do, and man, like,
you're everywhere.
You're into. You got a little bit of everything going on.
Well, it's we're trying. I've got a team behind me that's really supportive. Company I work for that's very supportive, allowed me to do things. But it just, since getting into the community at large that you guys have been involved with for many years, unlike myself, it was really only going back 6-7 years of being involved at a higher level. Once I got involved, I realized that I found my tribe, and
Right.
The motorcycle community. What I've seen from everybody here, from big names to small names. I mean, you talked about Rusty Wallace. You talk about him being at Sturgis, and he's just a great guy. And, I've had great conversations with Rusty. Rusty will walk up to you and just start shooting the shit with you.
But you know what? More than that too. When I said he's just a good old country boy, like usually late at night when we were, back when there was a lot of alcohol and antics, and we were doing crazy shit, he'd be right in the mix going, "Boy, look at that thing! He burned that motorcycle to the ground."
Yeah.
And that's that's cool when you see somebody with that stature, like letting his ass out and having a good time.
Well, and that's the motorcycle world. Especially going out to Sturgis, you see that. We were all just a Tennessee, the way folks enjoy themselves down there and stuff, and it's people being real. And I think that's why I enjoy the motorcycle community so much. And why I feel like it's my tribe, because people are real.
So now let's back up, because you had just said that you've really only been like fully ingrained in it for the past 6 or 7 years. Give us a little bit of your history.
Well, as a kid, I grew up not too far from where you guys are at, up in Pontotoc Lake, right up on the Pennsylvania-Ohio border. And it's farm country. And so as kids there, you had dirt bikes, you had the little 50cc bikes to chase the cows in and stuff like that, and we'd graduate up and have, some Kawasaki dirt bikes that we'd rip up and down the roads and everything else. And then I went off into the service and didn't do a whole lot of riding there until I got stationed in Europe. And when I was in Italy, started riding again. And so I was very fortunate, got to ride all over Europe, go to Switzerland, go up to see my family in Holland. Italy was great. It was a lot of pure enjoyment. It's just some of the best riding in the world. And the best part about riding in Europe is that, the drivers are very respectful and they're very cautious around motorcycles. And so you don't have the dangers that we encounter here. Then I came back, I got out of the service and, got into raising a family and stuff like that, and ended up with doing some riding, but not serious, not heavily involved. And then about 7 years ago, I got into work for a company that was in the motorcycle industry. Started doing some things around, with Mecum auctions, Sturgis Rally, Daytona, different things like that. And that's when like I said, that's when I found my tribe. That's when I started getting heavily involved in the community. And I haven't looked back since.
It's not hard to find camaraderie in this group because everybody's, pretty kind and to make your niche, obviously this is happening for you real fast with this podcast. Like it's coming in hard.
Well, and undoubtedly, like, you're nice people, or you're a nice person. People like you. They want to support you, but you obviously do have a good team behind you because that thing's kicking ass.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've got, Cody, the producer, he is, that guy's rock solid. He does such a good job. He's such a professional. Some of the guests, there are people that I brought on, but Cody's found some great guests. We've had some people that we brought on, and what we're trying to do, we recognize, you got your show, and your show is fantastic because it's teaching people about, the news. You're talking about, new products that are out there, just stuff that's going to help somebody to build a bike, to do different things, the more of the mechanics of stuff. And we went a different route. I wanted to talk about the people of this community because that's what's probably the most misunderstood thing about bikers is the diversity of what this is. The tapestry of motorcycle people is pretty intense. It's pretty involved. It's very intricate. And so we've been seeking those things out. And I kind of like, if you ever watched, remember Paul Harvey back in the day?
Yep.
And, Paul Harvey always did the wrestling story. And so we decided, let's tell the story of the individuals in there. And so it's been a lot of fun to, talk about these folks, tell their history, tell about who they are. But more importantly, what we found out is that when those stories come out, especially stories that may not have been heard, we just had a couple with the Billy Lane interview that, Billy's like, well, I've never talked about this before. These are stories that are repeatable. So when guys are sitting together, guys and gals, and talking about things going on, they'll say, hey, they start talking about, Billy Lane was saying this. And they're like, well, where'd you learn that at? Well, we learned that because we were watching Motorcycle Knuckle Busters.
Right.
And the numbers that thing did, I mean, Facebook alone, I think we did 548,000 views.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah,
it's great.
It did really, really well.
Yeah,
But
and
he's a great guest,
Heather will
as you
throw
guys know.
that link up so people can check that out, because it was a really good interview. It was. And that, having been somebody who's had an interview or two with Billy Lane over time, like sometimes it's really, really good, and sometimes it's, you get through the information, you talk about the stuff that you have, but to really get him to sit down and be comfortable and talk like that, that's good. That's a talent.
Yeah, that's something we had. If you go back, we did one episode. We did a little gal named Lila Eberly. Now, you guys might remember from the Chopper Show last year, Schools Out Chopper Show. She was that 14-year-old girl with the little mini chopper.
Yeah. Yep.
And so we did a show with her. Well, her sister, Piper, she's 9. She's working on her own bike.
Oh, no
So
kidding.
we brought them on. And I got to tell you, that was so interesting because poor Piper, when we first brought her on and tried to talk to her, she just stone silent. She couldn't even talk. So I just kept talking to her, warmed her up. She started speaking. Then we got into the show, and she did great. She nailed it. So I was really proud of her. So that was a really good time.
Yeah, that's cool that you're going from one end of the spectrum to the other. From somebody like Billy and big name people all the way down to these little kids. The cool part about it is, like you said, you get these people on the show, and people see them on build-offs from years ago and stuff. They think they're larger than life, and and then you find out they're just like regular people. They enjoy having these conversations and getting it out of there, and it's pretty cool that you're actually bringing it to the table and showing it to all these people. It's a good thing.
That's always been the thing too. Like we talk 1,000 times about the fact that people that judge motorcycle people at face value have no idea.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's really it. Like what you get out of a show like yours, Mario, is if you get into the depth of who people are and their families and the the layers that you start to peel through and make you understand.
Go past that motorcycle a little bit.
Yep.
Yeah, it's I think that's what I'm trying to show to people. And I know we've had a lot of comments. I've got people that have come up to me and that aren't bikers that are watching it say, I've never rode a bike in my life, but I'm watching your show. And I'm like, really? And I ask them, well, what do you like about it? And they're like, I just like learning about the people. I have a different perspective of bikers and the community and what you guys all do out there. And in that, I really feel like we're accomplishing something special.
Yeah.
It only took people 50 years to figure that out. So.
No kidding.
Oh man, it makes me think about the T-shirts. You see the people, hey, Charlie Cody wants his
culture back.
He wants his culture back. Or 20 years ago they wanted to kill us, now they want to be us.
Right.
So how many episodes in are you now, Mario?
So we're 18 episodes in. I mean, we're just very fresh.
Wow.
That's
Very
outstanding.
That's
I mean, because it
incredible.
is taking off like wildfire. It's
Yeah.
really, you found a really good niche there, and I think it's definitely something.
Some of the interviews that were really fun. I mean, we did one with Michael Lecter. And Michael's always a great interview. And what that's something else, is that what's fun about this is I'm also learning about people too. And I talked to Michael, numerous times. Spent a lot of time with him, various places. But to sit down and have an interview with him and realize, how he remembers every picture, every
Oh
time.
yeah.
Oh yeah,
I mean,
boy.
Yeah, buddy, like nobody's business.
Oh, and he tells you, he says, oh, well, this was going on and this was happening. And while this was going on, and you're just like, I'm just blown away. And we were bringing pictures up with Michael, and we were rolling through these pictures that I picked out, and he's like, oh, okay. And he knows right away, and he tells you the whole story behind it.
Yeah.
And that was just amazing. Or you could take like Rick Fairless when we talked to Rick, and Rick's a lot. Rick's a hoot. He's such a good interview. But to have him tell stories, he told this story about we had a picture of him and his wife, and it's before they were married, and he goes, that was in my grandma's house. And I said, okay. And he said, yeah. He goes, well, I got to tell you about that. He says, because my grandma, she was old school, and we're at the house there, and he goes, the evening was wearing on, and everybody's getting ready to go to bed, and she says, okay, well, you're in this room and you're in this room. And he says, oh, wait a minute, Grandma. He says, we sleep together. And she's like, well, no, not in my house. Took a little bit of convincing, and eventually they convinced her they were in fact going to be getting married. And Grandma said, okay, I don't like it, but I guess I'll allow it. So those are just fun stories to hear about people, because you're hearing their history.
Yeah.
Okay, so I need to bring this up. This picture of you with the fawns.
So, with the statue.
So listen, most of us children of the 70s were fans of the Fonz. Yeah. Fonz was, I think he was our first motorcycle idol for a whole lot of us. But later on in life, as you get to learn more, were you a Triumph Fonzie guy, or were you a Knucklehead Fonzie guy?
Well, I have a Triumph that I ride. It's my runabout bike, so it's a bobbed out Bonneville. But I would definitely lean more the Harley. So,
I've had plenty of Triumphs too, but when you talk about Henry Winkler's work as the Fonz, and what he meant in that little mixture, that chemistry that was going on, when the producers decided to, for lack of a better term, dumb down his character and move him off of the knucklehead, they turned his black leather jacket to a brown one.
Yeah,
I don't even remember any of that.
Oh, it was a coup, man. For biker people, it was a coup.
No, it was. It was. And then take him off a knuckle. I mean, come on.
Yeah, right.
We would knuckle busters, and and if you notice, like in our intro, we put a knucklehead in there, and we went and found the sound of a knucklehead.
Yeah.
To play over that, so that it would be authentic, because we knew the biking community is purist, and people are going to say, well, hell, that sounds like that sounds like a panhead. Doesn't sound like a knucklehead. Guys will figure that out. So we went all in.
Another one of your pictures here that we want to talk about. Heather was talking about in pre-show with us.
Those angel wings that you had made.
Yeah, I'm working on the set for this year. So the set this year is going to have over 400 pieces in it. So if you take a look at that, there's a couple of things. So at the bottom is knives. So those are knives. They're all textured to look like a feather. And then the rest are spoons, and they're textured to look like a feather. And then when we did the design, you'll notice there's a upside down heart there. And what that represents is that when your earthly angel becomes your heavenly angel, it turns your heart upside down. And so this will be the third year they're going to be sold at the Legends Ride. So last year they raised $5,000, and hoping they do better this year.
I think that's fantastic. I really, really do. Now, I am fortunate enough to have a piece of jewelry that you made because you're just so kind and so generous. Tell me where your inspiration for, I'm going to make a giant set of wings out of silverware comes from, because it's beautiful. And if you don't know what it's made from, you would never know, because it's a stunning piece.
Well, I was making some pieces. I was making necklaces textured to look like feathers, and they're a little bit more detailed. I don't have the time to put into each feather on this piece, but so I made them, and I was looking, and I had this massive pile of spoon ends. It was just the bowls, and I'm like, what am I going to do with this? I mean, I've got so much of it. I'm going to throw it out, but it seems wasteful to me to throw it out. And there it was. I was making one of the feather pendants, and I said, "Oh, I'm going to make some angel wings." And so it came up. We got a pattern together, cut out a template and everything for it, and just started putting it together, and it came together beautifully. So I mean, the first year they sold Woody Broad Woodruff. He actually stopped the auction because there's a friend of mine who had lost her son. And there was pretty intense bidding going on. Woody walked up and he said, hey, he goes, I'm sorry. He goes, these are already sold. And people were a little confused as to what was going on. And Woody said, I bought them. And he says, and I'm going to give them to Heather. And Heather was bidding on them, and he gave them to Heather. So it was very emotional. Now, Heather, she's bound determined she wants to buy them every year. And well, for the next 4 years, because she wants to have a set and each one of her other children. And so she says, you have to keep making them for at least the next 4 years. And last year, it was really tough because she bought them. And then I had people coming up to me, and a whole bunch of people wanted to buy them. But I had committed. The only time I'll make the large wings like that is for Sturgis, because I want it to be special. And, you know, if you're going to buy them, that's the only way you're going to get them, and it's all going to go to charity.
Oh, I think it's fantastic. Now, I know because I talked to you before, you told me that you are not an artist. And I think you're lying. Just saying.
Well,
I think Heather just called you out.
Yeah, well, I never really thought of myself as an artist. And so I have a page on Facebook called The Twisted Fork and Spoon. And so I don't get to do as much with that because of my involvement with other stuff. But basically, I went through a divorce. I moved from Western Pennsylvania, Grove City, to Chicago. And I got into cycling. Got back into cycling, bicycles. So I got a really nice Trek Madonna. I wanted to get myself in shape. Started getting back into buying other bikes and stuff like that. And I was getting involved with stuff.
Is this the right one?
Yep, that's the right one. So the first winter hit, and it was horrible. And I was bored out of my mind. And I decided I was going to make a spoon ring. So I made the spoon ring, started messing around with that. Then I started, people were like, hey, you know, you could sell these. And I started doing that stuff. But eventually what I did is I stumbled across, I lost my mom to breast cancer. So Heather, when you talk about, losing your father to cancer and how meaningful that is to you.
It's hard.
I made a breast cancer bracelet, and I said, whoever wants it can have it, because I knew my mom would like that. And what ended up happening is some lady in Michigan asked for it, and I sent it off. But a woman who had bought from me at a couple of different shows, she said, oh, I came out of having a double mastectomy, and during recovery, I opened up Facebook, and the first thing that I seen was you giving away this bracelet, and I'm going to be so proud to wear it. I knew I had to make her one. And at that point in time, I decided that's what I was going to do. So I was going to make breast cancer bracelets. So now we've done 2,500 bracelets. They've gone to every state in the country. Every state in the country and 7 nations.
Wow.
So, that's amazing.
And that's actually a set. That set right there, I did that for a gal out in Pennsylvania, at State College, and she lost her brother to brain cancer. So I took their family silverware and I just made bracelets.
Wow,
and
that's great, dude.
Yeah.
I love it.
So that's what that's
So
there.
Mike Draco is on, and he's asking us to have you please tell the reason why Woody bought them for her, so everyone understands. There's more to that story.
So Heather lost her son earlier that year, and I had actually done some pieces and some things with Heather. I've known her for a while. And I think you guys might have a picture you'll post up later that with her and I up on stage giving away a bike to a disabled vet at Sturgis. But great people. Her and Jess are just salt of the earth people from Texas. I see them at the Mecum auctions. I see them at Sturgis. Now that's Heather there standing next to me. But she lost her son. And if you know Heather, Heather and Jess, these are people that they love hard. Okay, they love their family. They're all about family. They're all about friends. And it was devastating. And I was in the middle of making these wings, and I sent her a picture and I said, hey, I'm making this, and just thought she might like to know. She fell in love with them, and so she was bound to determine she was going to get them. But Woody because she's such a great supporter of the chip and a lot of the charities and things that goes on. Woody was bound and determined she wasn't going to buy him. He was.
That's awesome.
Yeah. You know, a lot of people, he's another one that's kind of a sleeper. You know what I mean? Like he sort of comes off like a hard ass, sort of like a cold, calculated businessman. And when you find out the stuff that he does behind the scenes, like we did our Sturgis 80-year anniversary documentary that we did, we got to spend a lot of time with him, and there's still footage that we have to release of his interview. It still chokes me up.
Oh my gosh.
Like he's one of the most patriotic, serious, proud of his area, proud of his town, proud of motorcycle people. Like I was taken aback after I got to know him through that interview.
It was a wonderful interview. Wonderful interview.
And figure just by, being the guy that runs a Buffalo Chip, you got to have some kind of coarseness going through your veins. That's tough dealing with all those people.
Yep.
So, I mean, obviously he's not that person that everybody sees in that situation, which he's a totally different person.
So I'm going to put you on the spot real quick about a particular piece that I know you started, and I keep watching and I keep waiting for it. It's similar to your angel wings, but it's a headdress that you are working on. And have you made any progress with that? And I know it's a big undertaking. I can't even imagine how long it would take you, but I keep watching for it. Tell me I didn't miss it.
Well, yeah, so I ended up actually pulling that thing apart. I was making some progress, but I decided I didn't like the way it was going. And I think, Chris and Mark can relate to this. You start a build and you don't like the way the build's going, and you're like, no, I'm taking this and I'm redoing this, or I'm going to remachine this. I mean, all the builders I talk to, that seems to be, an issue. I started doing it, and I didn't like a certain element of it, so I pulled it apart. I started to put it back together, but now I've made it a lot more complicated. So
that sounds like Chris.
Yeah. So when I get that one done, I want to find a good charity for that. But so what I'm doing with this one, it's going to be silverware, but I don't know if you guys know it. So I live I now live on Lake Michigan, right by Lake Michigan. And I go beach glass hunting. It's like when it's early morning, at the crack of daylight, I like to go out and walk the beach, and I find beach glass and just in fossil stuff like that. So the part of the headdress that was typically done with wampum beads, I'm going to do that all in beach glass, different colored beach glass, and make it very intricate and everything like that. So,
Chris, I just dropped you a link to where he had started it, where I initially saw it. So I'm waiting for this piece because whatever charity it goes to, I'm bidding and bidding and bidding, because I know this piece is going to be extra special, and it speaks to me already. So
yeah, that's gonna be I've got a lot of silverware set aside. It's textured, it's ready to go. I just got to start putting it together. I just wasn't liking the way the feathers, because when I got further into it, I was about halfway through it, I'm just like, I don't like the way they're laying, and so I pulled it back apart and restarted it.
And you're an artist. You have to feel what you're creating. So, again, liar.
Here's the cool part about the whole thing. We started this whole conversation with Knuckle Busters, and then, like you'd said, you've only been in this industry for 6-7 years, and yet your art and the things that you do are so deep invested. Could you imagine if you were here 20 years?
But he takes the time to really know the stories. From the first time that you mentioned that's what really matters. I've 25 years now with Cycle Source, and that's what I'm most proud of, is being the storyteller, that I get to be the person that tells these stories.
Yeah, and it's like, you're talking about, Heather from the Spoke, and Heather from Buffalo Chip, and stuff like that. And I'm thinking to myself, like, all day long, this my first Father's Day. My dad had passed away last year. It's my first Father's Day without him around. And like, it's so like those wings and stuff like that. It's so deep. It hits people so deep. So as much as Knuckle Busters is a push, it seems like you have a whole nother direction where you're grabbing a huge part of this industry apparently is the art that you're not the artist of. You know what I mean? Like, so it's actually pretty cool that what you're doing. You're a huge, making a huge difference because you're touching people's hearts as much as their motorcycle mind. Which is cool.
And it goes.
Well,
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Mario.
I was just going to say, so I spent, in the 80s, I spent a lot of time down in Honduras and El Salvador. We were down there, we were military advisors, we were training soldiers and stuff down there. And one of the things we started doing a lot is we were going out and doing a lot of relief efforts. We were helping people get clean water, we were helping to feed them, different things like that, giving safe passage to people from the Peace Corps, things like just stuff that build communities, and that was the thing that we tried to do. And I found when I was doing that, I really, really enjoyed that. To me, that's what that made me feel good about being there. It gave me purpose. So when I started doing the bracelets, that gave me purpose, and that, I got to be honest with you, it gave me an outlet. It gave me an outlet because I lost my mom when I was in the service, and I don't think I ever fully mourned my mom, but I did through that. I mean, here I was doing breast cancer bracelets, and women were reaching out to me and just telling me what a difference it made, and they were also sharing their stories, and like, you understand, I'm going through this, and I feel like nobody's listening to me, nobody understands, people avoid me and everything else. So I kind of got a perspective of what it was for my mother to have that journey and to enter life very young, young children. I was the oldest. And so it meant a lot for me for healing, but it meant a lot to me because it filled my heart. So now, we play it forward a little, and here I am in the motorcycle community, we're getting involved. And, so doing the art, if you do the bike, Maryland Stemp does the, drawing a blank, guys.
Flying Pistons.
Flying Pistons, yeah.
Flying Pistons, I've done jewelry and things for that. I've done, for the ladies' rides. So I've done a lot of stuff for that as well. So rings, bracelets, various things like that. But I really enjoy it. So now we're getting involved, and I know, you guys are going to bring some of that up. We're getting involved with now builds that we're doing with folks, bringing in a lot of different people, just trying to organize and do something special that we can all make a difference.
Well, and I have to give you a lot of props because in every community, there's givers and there's takers. And you absolutely, without a doubt, have become a giver because you didn't just join the community. You're becoming a leader in the community, and you're stepping up where you see a need in those places.
Well, and there's some keys to talk about there too, because like what you talked about, having an outlet to deal with the loss of your mother. We had a brother of ours, Jeremy. What was Mutton Chop's last name?
Johnson.
Yeah. We watched him go through that. He came into this just a wild ass kid that was into choppers, and and through his losing his mother to cancer, he built a pink chopper and an initiative and all kind of stuff, and you could tell that was giving him that outlet to deal with that. And you see so many people, like you said, you're not really the artist, but finding your way to something where you're dealing with stuff inside of yourself, and you connect to other people that are looking for that same way to deal with things that are inside of them. The art, the culture, the music, everything that we do out here.
I was just going to say with Jeremy, I think bringing the awareness with that bike, I think that helped him heal
absolutely
so much. And now, now you look at him like Jeremy's knocking out of the park. The dude's doing so fantastic. You question if he wouldn't have opened up his heart and his mind to do what he did, would he be doing what he's doing right now? Him and his wife, and they have a slew of kids. I think they're starting a baseball team. And they're just, they got a farm now, and like Jeremy's one of the greatest people. And it's really cool to see somebody else's misfortune or heartbreak sort of help others make it through theirs, which is really cool.
Heather, Mike Draco says, please finish.
Mike, I'm sorry. I totally squirreled. I don't even remember where I was at.
It's my fault. I talked over you. Draco's actually bucking for a associate producer
What's
spot.
he-
Yeah, Mike's great.
He better get on old Nest.
I need to
Nussbaum
start
there.
making notes though of what I was talking about though. Like seriously. Oh, I know what I was going to segue into. Aside from, the jewelry that you're doing and the wings that you make and the motorcycle knuckle busters, in pre-show we talked a little bit about 2 bike projects that you have coming up. Again, going to charity. And you've got some really cool plans in place for those. Can you tell us a little bit about the first one? I know you have pretty much lined up with Meekum.
Well, we've already done one. So this past January we did one, and this was with Johnny Marcella and Jack McIntyre. You guys both know that. And so we did the Tunnels for Towers bike. It was a freedom bike that Johnny built in Philadelphia, and we took that to Meekum, raised $42,000. And if you're not aware of Tunnels for Towers, great organization. I think it's 97 or 98% of the money they take in actually goes to the people it's intended for.
Which is
so
an
that was
amazing statistic.
Right.
If
It
you
is.
really get down to the bottom of some of these quote unquote charitable organizations.
Yeah, they're a joke.
Yeah, and some of them started out really good, and I'm not going to get into naming names because I've actually been approached to doing things, with some of those, and I'm like, no way, that's not going to do it. But if you get if they're 75, 80% or better, that they're doing a good job. But there's some of these, 30, 40% if you're lucky. So, but we did that bike, and it went really, really well. And so I went about, we started talking about the next build, and Emily Campana from Fox News, she actually reached out to Johnny and said, hey, I love what you're doing. And they got some dialogue going. And so this past Thursday, Fox News came down to Philly to the shop, started filming in the shop there. They're going to put a documentary on it, on the bike, on the build. This year it's going to go to Dogs for Our Brave. So these are going to be for companion dogs for soldiers, and it's a great organization. We talk about these kids coming back and PTSD and the struggles they have. These dogs make a big difference, massive difference, and that's her charity, and that's what she felt was important to her, and so we got behind that. And she's a gearhead. She jumped in, did some welding, everything else. So she's getting right in there, and she's getting involved. And she's really taking charge. She's not one of these people that's going to stand back and just watch it happen and then
That's awesome.
take credit for it. She wants involvement, and I really appreciate that out of her.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, buddy.
I do need to take a quick moment because I don't think any of us have said this yet. Thank you so much for your service
Absolutely.
to our country, and thank you for honoring your brothers and sisters with all this charitable work that you take part in some way or another. I think it's outstanding, and I think a lot of people could absolutely follow your lead, if not,
Well, thank you. I
contribute.
appreciate that. But I feel like that, I was lucky because the service, it helped define me. My mom was dying of cancer. My didn't have a good home life because my dad wasn't really involved or cared. So if it wasn't for the service, I might have been, one of those statistics.
Yeah.
And so I feel like the service gave me as much as I gave it, because it really did define me as a man, as a person. And I'll never, discount that, because I'm who I am because there was people that cared about me and made me somebody.
Yeah, and like you're saying, it seems like you went a little further than just your service bit. But the more and more I'm listening to this, and like you just said, that you're who you are because of that. I'm going to say it seems like your mother did a really good job, because you're who you are because of what you felt there from her. You know what I mean? And it's pretty cool, because it seems like you took that feeling and you put that into everything that you've done from then on in. And dude, from what the little bit that I thought I knew coming into this, you're a way bigger man than I imagine just a knuckle buster, dude. You do some really cool shit. So yeah, you're pretty awesome.
Well, Mark, my mom died 40 years ago, and there was a lesson I took from that, and I realized that my mother will live through me, and
Amen.
I want to exemplify those qualities and those things that made her a beautiful person, and people loved her for.
Yeah, well, should be proud. So,
we were, guys, we were down in Tennessee, obviously, and for TMMR, and that flood. I was in that flood when it hit. Almost, it almost got.
When we talked about that, dude, I had no idea. I had no idea how serious that was until the way you explained it to me.
Yeah, it was unlike anything I've ever seen. But I'll tell you the one, and I don't recall his name, but we brought down some heavy equipment, did recovery. We needed to recover a bunch of trailers that got washed away that we were doing for the federal government, and we ended up being asked to recover cars because those people down there, none of the tow companies understood how to do heavy recovery. And Tim, the owner of our company, and Wayne, one of the founders, I mean, just great guys and very knowledgeable. They went to work, and I organized things, and they went and recovered, and we were pulling stuff that literally cars that were buried up to the roof in rock.
Yeah.
And getting everything out. But we got one vehicle out, and it was the father of the twins. And he came over to recover items from the twins, and that was a hard moment because that kid was busted up.
God.
And as we're standing there, and he was really he was blaming himself. And people don't understand, he had two sets of twins. The older set of twins, they were holding on to him like spider monkeys, and he's got two infants and trying to fight through that water, and he lost the hold of them. And we talked about that, and I said, it's not your fault. They said, but I'll tell you one thing, you do have a huge responsibility. He said, it's to honor the memory of your twins.
Yeah.
And I said, you have to do your best job and live your best life, raising the two that you have and honoring their lives through yours and through those that you can influence. And if you do that, that gives so much more meaning to those lives being lost young, because they will have inspired and drive you to do great things.
Yeah, how you can, we've had friends that went through horrible situations that they lost young children, and how you can ever make it past that, I have no idea. My mind is just beside itself even thinking about that. What a horrible, horrible day.
Yeah, they'll never forget that day. But I saw some of the most beautiful things out of individuals. We were working 16, 17, 18-hour days and working to the bone, and people driving up and bringing you water and bringing you food, and being there encouraging you, and it was spectacular. And people came from all over to do that, and that's when you see the human spirit at its best. And sometimes it takes a tragedy like that to restore your spirit and humanity, because man, you watch the news, CNN or any of that stuff, it just brings you down, and you start thinking that mankind's done for.
Yeah, and lately it's hard to find a point to be reinvested in humanity. That's for sure.
Well,
absolutely. So yeah, and then we've got another bike. We're going to be so we got the Emily bike, but then we're going to be we're putting the final touches on. We're going to do one with Shania Twain, and so that's looking forward to that. As a matter of fact, the picture that you guys used as the promo picture for tonight's show, that was a bike that had been redone by Shannon McCall and Ryan Evans with Counts, and I was involved with doing a little bit of work with that, and that was actually her opening night at Zappos Theater in Las Vegas for her residency.
Right on.
So we had that bike was won by through a contest, and the money went to Shania's Kids, which is her charity, and it's a really fantastic charity. Sandy, who runs that charity for her, used to be her manager, but now she runs the charity, and so we were talking about things, and it was funny. I was sitting with Johnny and Jack, and I said, "Hey, you guys want to do something with Shania Twain?" And it was an absolute yes. Let's do that. And they said, "Why? Do you know her?" I'm like, "Well, I don't really know her, but I know her manager." I said, let me reach out and let me see what we could do. And then we reached out, told what we wanted to do, what our ideas were, and everything else. And they're like, "Absolutely, let's do it." So we're putting things together. It won't be this 2023 at Mecum. It'll be 2024. But we're getting a lot of people rallying support behind it, donating some very product and everything else, so that we can keep the cost to hopefully nothing, and roll this thing out there. And it's going to be designed around her. We're gonna involve her. One thing she likes being involved with this stuff, and so she's going to have input about how we're designing colors. We're going to engrave this thing. We're going to go all out. We're going to make it something special. So something that can be, I think it's going to be a museum piece.
That's incredible. I love it. So a couple questions real quick. Number one, have you cloned yourself? And do you ever sleep?
Yeah, I sleep. So I do. I did a red eye last night from San Francisco. So I got in, I slept a little. I didn't sleep on the plane at all. I thought I would, but that didn't work out very well. So I got a couple hours sleep and took care of the dog and some various things and some chores. And then I got over here to shoot the show. So, but yeah, I sleep when I can.
Well, we cannot thank you enough for taking time out of your ridiculously busy schedule to sit and talk to us. And I'm so glad you did. I mean, I knew you were a good human. I had no doubt in my mind that you were a good human, but it's been an absolute honor to sit here and get to know you a little better. And I look forward to doing more.
Yeah, please. Any of that
face to face.
Any of the work that you're doing with those motorcycles, we'd love to, whatever part you see fit that we can help you promote. If you want to come on, if you want to have some of that stuff in the magazine, you're more than welcome to.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd love to have a conversation with Johnny and Jack, get some things going. I think that'd be fantastic. We're proud of the work we're doing. Those guys, they got pure hearts. And the other thing I got to tell you is that, when it comes to motorcycle knuckle busters and, like the Schools Out Chopper Show and things we're doing, I mean, I've got a team behind me with Tim and Cody, that we all, they're fantastic. And none of this is possible. People see me and they think that, I'm the guy that's, doing all this stuff, but I'm not. I'm just the guy that gets on there that's willing to talk. And without their support and their expertise, none of this gets done.
Yeah, man. I'll tell you what, though, it's nice. It's nice to have a team behind you doing that stuff, because the hours get long. Just sometimes having that second set of eyes.
Yeah.
To look over your shoulder what you're doing is a godsend. Well, listen, man. Tell everybody where they can keep up to date on all of your stuff. They can keep track of what you're doing next. The shows, the work you're doing, helping other people with their shows, what's going on with the bike builds, everything.
Well, you can check us out a couple of different places. Chopper Show that's all it is on Facebook. So that's a Facebook page we started up. I started doing Chopper Show 5 years ago, Schools Out in Sturgis. And then 3 years ago, Mondo joined me as the show hero and stuff. So I've been organizing, promoting that now. This will be the 5th year. So you can find stuff there. That's done just support. So I did that in a way so that when people came on sponsorship for our show there, they didn't just get the show. They potentially got 52 weeks of being able to promote themselves,
right.
And their products and stuff like that. But we got a really good international following. I think we're set in 77,000. So, pretty good group of people. So you can find us there. Knuckle Busters, we've got 2 pages for Knuckle Busters. There's one for the podcast. And then there's the Knuckle Busters group where you can get on there and you can share and do some stuff as well. We're also on YouTube. We're on iTunes. I think iTunes at one point in time we hit number 5 in the world for everything automotive.
Wow, no kidding.
Which actually made us number 1 for motorcycles. So that was kind of a surprise. Didn't expect that. And you can, those are the main places to find us. I mean, go to YouTube. You can check out all the old shows and everything else. That page it's slowly building. I think we're sitting around 1,200 people that follow the page now, but the analytics show us that we'll probably be somewhere around 5,000 before the end of the year. Maybe we'll catch fire with some folks, and that'll go a little bit quicker. So I'll be out at. I'll probably be going to the Shovelhead reunion this weekend. So if anybody's near Milwaukee, I'll be around for that. And to various things. I'm obviously based between Milwaukee and Chicago, so I hit a lot of those events. And the next big event for me is going to be Sturgis, and I'll see you guys there.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely.
We definitely have to spend some time. Some time.
You guys got to remember, there's, we didn't talk about having everybody likes to come out and eat with us. So, we do a lot of cooking.
Yeah, buddy.
So that's kind of become a big
we
thing.
like to do a lot of eating, so.
Well, you got to show up. I mean, so, Woody will be over, Woody's usually coming over, and you don't know, Gilby Clark might be there from Guns N' Roses and various people like that. You just never know who's going to show up. I mean, it's a wide range of characters. I've got some good friends who are Navy SEALs that all stay right there with us. So, you get to dine with some guys that are SEAL Team 6, SEAL Team 1 members, former members, the Salt of the Earth guys. So a lot of great builders are going to be there. So it's just what we do is we make a lot of food. We tell people, come on by. If it's there, it's there. If it's gone, it's gone.
Yeah.
Mm. Yeah, buddy. That goes back to the old school motorcycle ways too.
Yeah, right.
That's where the field party came from.
Yep.
Hey, we're cooking a pig. Everybody come and eat.
Absolutely. Well, guys, thank you so much for having me on. This was, so appreciated. It's an honor for me to be able to, to be asked to come on and do this with you. And
let's definitely do this some more.
Yeah.
There's still so much more that we can talk about with you, but like I said, I want to get involved with you on some of the work that you're doing. We want to come back and have you on, pretty quick to get into some of that. So keep us on the top of your calendar page.
Absolutely.
All right.
Done deal.
Thanks, Mario. I appreciate you.
Thanks, guys. Good night.
Mario, thank you.
Have a good night.
All right. Hey, man, you're watching Shop Talk, America's first and favorite Sunday night motorcycle talk show. We got a lot of show left, and actually we have a surprise visitor coming up for you, coming in from the Chix on 66. As soon as we come back from this break, we're going to go to Athena Ransom, who is out on the road with the Chix on 66. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Hey, this is Chris and Heather with Smokeout. Smokeout is going back to Salisbury, the original Rowan County Fairgrounds. The reason why we signed on after 2 decades of this event going on and seeing 2 generations of chopper jockeys come out of it, we wanted to be here for another generation. We're having a thing called the Legacy Invitational. Let's ask some of the Smokeout OGs, guys like Paul Cox, Billy Lane, Jeff Cochran, Steve Broyles, Donnie Luce,
Pat Patterson,
Bill Dodd to come in and set up. And we've also assigned them the task of inviting a legacy builder, either newer builder or someone that's new to Smokeout to bring in as their legacy.
From what I understand, the people made this event.
Yeah.
Like, you guys made this event, and that's what we want to bring back.
Smokeout's back. We're going back a few steps. Rowan County Fairgrounds. Tell your friends Smokeout is going back to Salisbury. We'll see you in September of 22.
You better get to work.
Proven performance is not some sort of empty slogan or marketing catchphrase, but a way of thinking, a mantra, and something we've practiced every day of the week for the last 6 decades. Designed, manufactured, and tested in the heartland of America. On and off the track, S&S Cycle is the first choice in power sports performance.
All right, hey, welcome back to the Dennis Kirk Motorcycle Studio. You are watching Shop Talk, going into our second part of the show. I'm Chris with Cycle Source Magazine, your host here on Shop Talk, 50 floors below the street level. Always big thanks to Dennis Kirk for having us. And hey, we have a special guest. See, you guys thought we were going to miss the Chix stuff, right? Chix on 66 is going on right now, and we have special guests coming in live from the road. Athena Ransom. Let's go to Athena. What's up?
Hey!
Look, you can do it.
We did it. We did it somehow.
So
it
look,
wasn't.
it's Chix on 66.
We're in Sante Fe.
Okay.
We are a hot mess. We've been working for days on end.
And driving.
And riding.
So, Athena, for anybody that's been under a rock for the last few months, since we actually had the organizers of the show on, tell everybody real quick what's going on, what Chix on 66 is, and then give us a recap of where you're at in this momentous event.
How long is your show?
Okay.
Highlight reel.
Chix on 66 is 40 women who started in Milwaukee at the Harley-Davidson Museum. We actually went to Chicago, and we are on our way down Route 66 to Santa Monica via every little hiccup we could find. We've had a really good time. We've gotten some interesting things. We've been shot at. We've broke down. We've fixed things. We've
had an oil pump blow up.
Yeah, we had the little pin.
Wait a minute. What do you mean shot at? Wait, stop. Hang on. What do you mean shot at?
I was shot at in St. Louis while somebody was getting carjacked and got rescued. That was interesting. That was the second time. Well, Chicago wasn't really a bullet. It was a balloon, but it was close.
So Chix on 66 is something that Karen Andrea was. Andros.
The Riveter chapter of the
chapter.
Antique Motorcycle Club of
The
America.
AMCA.
Yeah, that. Right.
So anyway, she set this up, and she's been planning it. Logistical nightmare, but she's been planning it for a long time.
About a year.
So they're taking 40 women on their motorcycles across the country to do Route 66 from Chicago, where it starts, to Santa Monica.
And how hard could that be?
Yeah, God. So easy to get all those, round up a bunch of women and have them do something. There's no problem right there.
Hey, have you ever tried to get Chris ready to go somewhere?
Hey.
Come on now.
Hey.
Heather. Hi, Heather.
Hi, sweetheart.
We miss you. You should be here.
Yeah.
Right?
No. Nope.
No.
She wanted to be, though. She did.
I that's way too much estrogen for me.
Actually,
I love you guys.
We're all separated. It's all good.
Yeah, they have groups, so they have like small groups, and then they go whichever route they want to go, and we follow behind the vintage bikes, myself and Miss Vivian, and then we fix what breaks down. If it can't be fixed on the side of the road, we put it on the trailer, and then the two of us spend all night wiring in ignitions and fixing oil leaks, and well, they do flat tires on the road, and we've had a lot of interesting crap go on.
They sure are lucky to have you guys there.
Hey, listen, Rob Nussbaum.
Very lucky to have them.
Rob-
However, it hasn't been all drama.
Rob Nussbaum put a comment in that said that you guys have just been heroes fixing bikes. So
it's better to be a hero than a zero.
Yeah,
so
right.
we've been pretty lucky. We're actually so blessed. So what we did was we worked our asses off on all these motorcycles, and yesterday we had a stop at CCMS Clay's shop in Tucumcari, New Mexico. He is the coolest biker hippie dude. He has his own shop, and he brought all the chicks in, and he let them change their own oil and service their bikes. And after watching me and this gypsy for a week, they went in there just like full tilt boogie, and we checked their work and all that stuff like that, and he did, and aired up all their tires. But it was so incredible to watch how they just went from I'm not sure to okay, let me in here and let's do it. And we made sure they were safe, so it's kind of cool. They're not doing anything that's safety related. They're doing their basic maintenance, but they were all just fantastic, and it kind of was it it filled us up. It warmed our hearts because, you know, when we're working on their bikes, they're like, oh, we don't want to get in your way. And we're like, no, this is your machine. Come in and see what's going on. Let's make sure that you know what we're doing. So, you know, we're keeping you safe. And then in the future, when you want to go on a road trip, you know, you know the basics of what's going on. And they've been so prepared. They have every tool,
we had webinars.
Yeah.
We had webinars. It was Tech Tuesday. So every Tuesday night we do webinars on Facebook.
For like 4 weeks, 5 weeks.
5 weeks.
Yeah.
Just
That's
pretty
awesome.
much telling them a lot of these women had never been on a long trip at all. So what do you need to bring? What tools do you need? What critical fasteners do you need?
And they
what
rocked
do you have
it.
to have
That's awesome.
set up on your bike?
Well, and the more you know about your bike, the better rider you are in the long run. So, you know, that information's nothing but gold, you know?
Yeah, and everybody really took it to heart. They were very serious about it and prepared. And that was something that was really cool. I mean, you do the best you can and you hope everybody takes it in and actually, you know, understands that we're going on a long trip. And some bikes are different. Like we have a Ducati Scrambler, we have a Gold Wing, we have some other different bikes, a Triumph. So, and I mean, Tina's husband, he rides the Zundap in the Cannonball, and she's just rocking this ride. It's like so cool. She makes it look easy. That little Triumph that could, right, Miss Tina? We see you over there. Yay! She's waving at us. She doesn't want to be on camera right now because we're all a hot mess.
This is the cool thing about what you guys are doing, though, and really, I mean, what the Riveter chapter, what's exciting about this chapter of the AMCA is the fact that it is about empowerment. And I know that, Athena, that's been a mission statement for you for a long time. You've been doing seminars and, you know, and holding ladies groups and showing people this stuff for years and years and years. But it's gotta, all joking aside, it's gotta feel so good, like watching the evolution of this as this ride goes on, right?
It's absolutely
amazing.
Crazy.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
To see these women, I mean, their confidence level and their riding goes up.
Way up there.
Yeah, they're really wanting to learn. When we were doing tech check on their motorcycles, because we had two days of tech check to make sure they could go on the road, and they had homework to do from those webinars.
Yeah.
They had to test their battery. They had to make sure that their tires were good. They had to put a toolkit together. And so we. I mean, when we were doing tech check, they were like, okay. And I'm like, yeah, you passed. Everything's good, son, here. And they're saying, do you want to see my toolkit?
Right.
Do you want to see my toolkit? It was, so they really took it to heart. But their riding has gotten better. Their riding in a pack has gotten better. They're understanding a lot more about the road and about what it really is to be on the road days and days and days.
And Chris, you know how I am. I don't believe that gender has anything to do with your passion. And, you know, I've done all these seminars and things that I've done over the time that like Miss Gypsy has done. We've done that because there's a bias out there in some degree that we're used to, and we've earned the respect and the things that we do. And we're showing other women that that's the best course to plot when you want to do something like this. And that moves the bias out of what we're doing. And it's cool because they really are self-sufficient. And then their husbands are all like, we're so proud of you. They weren't sure. Like, okay, I'm going to introduce, this is Miss Sharon. Oh, you're on the other side on the screen. So she rides a 1965 Panhead that she got ready. She bought it 3 weeks before the run, and her husband, Pat, went through the whole thing. And she has, this Panhead is the little Panhead that could. I swear, it's absolutely crazy. But she has become one of the cool kids club. She's in it. We're getting tattoos. Yeah. Our little Panhead tattoos. I'm going to get a Panhead. So if anybody's got one
is the spark plug
on a point Panhead, 22 to 25. And now she's riding an 883 Sportster across country. And this girl is rocking it like business. Today she's leading the pack, and they have their little packs, and they're tight and right. They're riding wheel to wheel. They got all the stuff when it's time to file off and do their thing. So they paid so much attention, and they're building lifetime friendships. I mean, with people that you would never expect, like Yeah, we're the odd team. It's kind of cool, but it's really super cool, and it fills my heart up. I mean, I'm not going to start gushing crying because I have no tissue because you all know I'm a crier. But it's cool.
The oldest rider, she's 82.
82 years old.
Wow.
She's a great rider. And I'll tell you what, a great rider. She has knocked it out of the park every single day.
That's awesome.
And it's pretty amazing.
And still elegant every morning.
Every morning, completely put together.
Yeah. 112 degree heat index. Except for today. Yeah, except for today.
Yeah, we're in Sante Fe. It's like 58 degrees, and we're all like, turn the heat off.
Well, it's cool. I've been noticing you posted some stuff that you were going to be going to do this, and for those of us that know you, dude, you're so in your element right now, Athena. It's freaking fantastic.
That's awesome.
So it's cool that you can be there and be a part of helping all these other people, try and get their feet wet into this. I mean, I love you to death. I think it's fantastic that you're doing this, not only because it's something you enjoy, but you're giving other people the opportunity to feel the life that we've all lived all these years. It's pretty cool.
Very well said,
I
Mark.
love you all for that, and I am so fortunate too, because when they asked me to do this, I said, that's really cool, but I'm going to need a partner in crime. And so my ride or die is always Miss Gypsy. Like, we have just been, we'll just bust out laughing at the stupidest shit. We're in the middle of fixing a motorcycle, and most people get pissed off and be like, I just don't even want it. And we're just like,
you can't even make this
and you
shit
can't
up.
make this shit up. It's really, you can't. It's too
Hey,
crazy.
this is the great thing though. A minute ago you said about how gender has nothing to do with your passion.
Nothing to do with it.
But knowing you and knowing Gypsy also, part of both of you receiving the respect that you do as women on the road for your lives is the fact that gender is not an excuse either.
That's
and
what I was gonna say.
you hold the other women around you accountable to that same standard,
right.
both of you.
Yep.
Yes, we do.
Well, you have no idea how wonderful that sounds.
It does, and that's
especially coming from you.
And you guys really, you putting a spotlight on it and having us on the show today really was something cool that everybody's looking forward to. They're probably all in their rooms watching now.
Right.
So it's like, you want to be on camera? They're like, yeah, I know, we'll watch it.
Well, one thing that I've said for a long time, and like I always hear this, all women this, all women that. Like, to me, a rider's a rider. I don't care who you are, a woman or not. So for all you girls that are actually there riding right now, just keep going, man. Just keep running. Don't worry about if you're a woman or not. That gender thing has nothing to do with that motorcycle. It doesn't care who you are.
Ashley Woodford just said the bike doesn't know if you're male or female.
Right, exactly.
And Rob Nussbaum said there's no crying in baseball. he also wants to know how Cindy Messmer is doing.
Cindy is doing fantastic. We thought yesterday maybe we were having an issue, but it turned out that we needed a slight adjustment, so that was super cool. And
cool.
She's rocking that Bandit. I mean, she's part of the crew. Oh yeah. And then we have
Photo bomber.
Dude, he's driving the truck though. He's not allowed.
He's
to
the
drive
grim
it, but
sweeper,
he's doing
right?
a bang up job. He Jason.
He's in the man band.
He's in the man band.
That's great.
Him and Jose. Yeah. So, and it's been extremely cool. Like it's really I don't like the word empowering. I mean, it's fulfilling, and it's a very gracious time in my life for me to look around and say, wow, like, I actually can say that I've touched a part of these women's lives.
Absolutely.
Like Miss Gypsy has done the same. And it's to have the friendships, and, they come to you at the end of the night. And like this one here, she's incredible because she's had some whoop-de-doos. And in the beginning, she wasn't sure. And now she's just right in there. And she's not afraid to just say, okay, I can do this. What do you need me to do? Can I help you? We did a handlebar job where we were in I don't know. Let's see. It was somewhere a couple nights ago. No, a couple nights ago. We had all these bikes underneath the canopy of this hotel and the lights. And I'm doing a wiring job on handlebars because all the connectors came apart. We had to find that. Gypsy's adjusting all the chains. I can't remember what state. Oklahoma. That's just its own. That's its own ball of
But
weird
see,
there.
dude,
Oklahoma.
that's the thing, right? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what
Where
you
you
did.
are,
It doesn't matter where you are. It doesn't matter the things that you saw. I mean, they matter, but they're superficial incidentals to what you're really doing
Big picture.
is spending time. You're spending that time. You'll have that forever.
Yep.
You know, we just had Mario Krim on, and we were talking about how what's really behind us. It's not the buying and selling, the, you know, wow, it's a panhead, wow, it's a knucklehead.
It's the living.
It's the living. Like it's living life. People don't get that part of it. They don't get that part of motorcycling.
And we're living on the road, and it's kind of cool because like everybody has a different take on it. And when they break up in their little groups, and at the end of the day, we get to the hotel and everybody's got a story. Everybody's got a part of an adventure. And then at the hotel, we have our own adventures. And then we're not allowed to tell those stories on camera.
Come on.
So
unfortunately, most of the adventures that Athena and I have had have involved lots of tools and grease.
And so I think not last night we only worked till midnight. The night before we were 4:30, and we got up at 7 to make sure she was on the road. Went back to sleep for an hour, and then we had to get up and go. So yesterday was our day off, so we only had to work till 11. We took a day off.
Athena, you
that
said
was cool though.
Athena, you said you don't like the word empowering, but that's exactly what you're doing. You are helping. You are helping these people find the confidence to do something that they probably never would have thought they could do. And now, once this is over, I have a feeling that a lot of them are going to be out adventuring and pushing themselves a little bit further than they ever have. So empowering in this case is actually the perfect word for what this journey is doing for the 40 women. And I have to even believe for you and Gypsy too. Like you are getting as much as you're giving to these women because
the due justice.
You know, so, and I have to say, I was just really joking at the beginning when I said no, too much estrogen. I would have loved to have been there. You know, maybe next year I'll be able to be a part of it, but I think it's amazing what you guys are doing out there. And Gypsy, you know, I got to spend a little bit of time with you on the chase, and you found a special place in my heart. So the fact that you're there and doing this, like, the world needs more of you. And you too, Athena. Like, you guys are you're good role models for women out there. You really are.
Well, I'll tell you, at the very beginning, I thought, when Athena said, "Are you in?" And I was like, I don't even care. Yeah, if I'm going with you, I'm in.
And then she's like, what kind of shit did you get me into?
I really thought when she told me what was going on, it was like I was sending her little herding cats emojis. I swear to God.
I should have just given you guys Chris for a couple weeks. You would have been perfectly prepared.
Hey, I was just thinking when Gypsy was saying that, Chris said the same thing to me 26 years ago. For Christ's sake, I'm ready to commit suicide.
Hide the razor blades.
And, you know, I have to say too, it's really been almost like a dream come true to actually see a lot of these women. Like at the beginning, they weren't sure if they really could do this or wanted to do this. And then when we started doing the webinars and talking about the things that we're going to look forward to, the things that we do to prepare, they grew more confident and they were less reluctant to participate. And then when we got to Milwaukee, everybody was like, at Tech Check, they were like, this is fantastic. We're so happy you guys are here. And it really has been life-changing. Again, like you said, not only for them, but for us, because we see it happening. We've waited the longest time to watch it happen. And then we're around, we've made lifetime relationships. These girls are amazing. And to see them just go, and they don't care. They don't care. They don't want to hear about, it's all girl. We have it. I guess it's kind of crazy because everywhere we go to eat every day in some town somewhere, people are following us on Facebook. Yeah. They're taking our pictures. They've followed us since the beginning of this ride, and they've seen stuff. And there's like a little bit of fanfare. And inside the group, there's our own kind of fanfare. You know, we laugh and joke about the guys in the man band. We do everything we can to cause issues for them.
Hey, we have
rope Jason right now with a cowboy rope over here in his hat. So
listen, David Crum wants to know: did Jason run out of gas in the man van? This is chronic behavior.
If he did, we're not privy to that information. Maybe
Jason runs out of gas everywhere.
Yeah. Yep.
And sometimes more than once in a day.
Busted.
I'm not saying he did or did not, but I would be surprised if he did not.
Running away.
Yeah, he
He
is.
heard us talking about him.
Oh
He's
my God,
running.
he's
actually running.
So somebody pull out a flannel shirt. He'll come running back.
Wow, you guys know him well.
He's one of the standing members of the Flannel Mafia.
Yep.
So yeah.
That's funny.
And Chris Simmons is back.
Yeah.
Nice.
Started to run with us, and it got so hot that
We're Ryan. Come on, Ryan. We're on Shop Talk. You're
So-
from Chris Somerson now. Maybe we could get her on camera. Get out of here. I'm good. Security. Call security. Oh,
So you guys are in. You guys are in Santa Fe today. Oh, hey, Chris.
Hey, look at that.
Ryan says hi.
Look at him back there.
Look at Chase.
Oh God, he's so funny.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
So ask him, did he run out of gas? We want to know. The public wants to know.
Wow.
Oh, wait, give that back. That's too
Okay, so how many days left
Who's
of this
who's in
epic
charge
adventure?
over here?
blink if I'm in trouble.
We're having more fun than legally allowed, actually.
All right.
Here
So
she is.
you guys are in Santa Fe. How many days left on this epic journey that you guys are on?
Don't know.
This time next Sunday, I'll be in some cushy hotel bed waiting for the plane, the train, or the automobile.
And I will be headed.
Pearls? Yes, we have the pearls.
And
I brought my
will
pearl
be
necklace.
riding back to
She's going.
Texas
Yeah.
to meet up with Barry Wardlaw, and then riding back to Alabama.
Nice.
We sharing road from Maryland to Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Right on.
So my bike's gone on a trailer.
Yeah, we're tired.
I'm done.
And then Miss Chris, she's got Buddy. She's like,
I took
Effie,
off,
buddy,
I left, and then
Effie,
I
buddy.
came back. Buddy
Wait,
missed you.
tell
I
her-
know,
Tell everybody who Buddy is.
Tell the truth.
Yeah, it was.
I had a burn this long on my leg.
Chicago was.
traffic.
It was a bad route into Chicago, but we kind of had to push a reset button, and that was where we got to share our experience of being riders and living on the road and how we get in and out to places. So
Okay,
that was-
take a second and have Chris tell everybody who Buddy is.
Oh yeah, tell them who Buddy is.
Yeah. Buddy, 1934 Harley Davidson.
VD.
He's a VD. His name is Buddy because he used to belong to Bud Eakins. And the joke is I got VD from Bud Eakins.
And it gets better. So Buddy was on the trailer, and Miss Gypsy decided to start sending texts to Mom from Buddy. So
Oh my
Buddy's
gosh.
been at the strip club. He's gotten a tattoo. He's got us two weird women following him around. Velma's on the trailer up his ass, but he really just wants to hook up with her and
Oh,
have some
my.
alone time. We'll keep getting on the trailer like
And
Karen's bike.
And Velma is
Jason's 34
Jason's
VL.
34 VL.
Yeah,
Which
it's-
is a girl bike.
Which is a
and
girl
I have
bike.
boy bike.
So, I
yeah.
mean,
Yeah, what else did he do? He's been strip club, tattoo. Oh, we took him. Yeah, we took him to a strip club.
we're planning to go to Guadalajara. And,
Guadalajara.
And he said, "Mom, maybe we can bring you too."
I was gonna,
Oh
And then
my
she writes
God.
back, "Dear buddy, I'll see you in Santa Fe. It's okay." His last text to her was, "Mom, I miss you, and your taste in friends is really bad."
So listen, can we schedule time in a few more days to get back with you guys again and get another quick update?
Yeah, like Wednesday, right?
Yeah, let's do something either Wednesday or Thursday.
Okay.
Probably
Send the link. We'll do it.
Wednesday. If
Okay,
you
we'll
guys
be
are
on
cool with that.
California time by then.
I have no idea where we're going to be.
Wednesday. Wait, what's today? Sunday.
Arizona, I think.
Monday.
Maybe Kingman.
Tuesdays. 2 days Albuquerque.
Stand on the fucking
See, and you know what happens? It all depends whether you take that left turn at Albuquerque. That's where the shit hits a fan on Looney Tunes all the time.
Yeah, do not make a wrong turn at Albuquerque.
Yeah. Well, yesterday we were in a Little Feat song. I think we had a whole group and we were all singing Willin', and we were in the restaurant. It was pretty bad. I mean, people were like, who are these crazy bitches on motorcycles?
You know what's nuts? Since we're riding sweet, especially behind the vintage bikes, make sure everything goes well with them. We were concerned about the other ladies' packs of women that were going in different places. So we were getting texts all the time. And so we were really concerned about that. But they have really, they have really learned their skills. They're so independent right now that we're really not getting a lot of texts per se from on the road. We'll be doing stuff usually at the motel at night. So me and Athena actually get to ride down the road, and every once in a while I kind of pinch myself.
We look at each other and we're like,
you were riding around this
going, wow.
Like, wow.
Bragging rights.
Amazing.
You guys are working butts off.
They have been.
We did our nails before we left. So the best look for a French manicure is all covered in grease and grime. It is to the point. I don't know if you can see that or not, but it's really good. Those are clean today, actually. We just washed.
After the 2010 Cannonball, you wore a cocktail all your clothes away.
We did. On the first Cannonball, our all-girl team, we did. We threw all our clothes away. We were so greasy.
There's no washing those.
None.
All right, you're
we're
killing
glad
me.
you had us.
You're killing me.
So much.
It looks like it's getting dark there. We want to cut you guys loose, but thank you so much for taking the time to give us an update.
Oh my God! Thank you so much for having
Chris,
us.
Heather, Mark, I love you. You all are a part of my heart, and I'm so glad. I mean, squishy, big hugs and kisses.
Stop her before I kill her.
Oh my God. That's it.
All right, hey, listen, real quick. I have to give you one piece of instruction. Rob Nussbaum specifically says, tell Chris 2 beers. That's it. 2 beers.
Right now, I can't.
Oh, we got a bottle of Patron.
I got my edibles with me.
Yeah, we got edibles.
Oh boy.
On that note,
shit's going south fast.
Don't send any more help.
Well, listen, I put the link up. Actually, the right link the second time. I got the right Chix with an X on Chix on 66, and we'll see you guys on Wednesday. We'll hook back up. Yeah.
If you do CHICKS, you get a chicken farm on Route 66.
It was kind of odd. It was.
Sounded the same though.
It sounds.
All right, listen, you guys all be safe and have a good time. We'll talk to you in a couple of days.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Oh my God, that is a hot mess express,
that's
ladies and gentlemen.
fantastic.
I mean, I love them all. But I would have been like, Chris, save me. Save me, Chris.
All right, hey man, we got some stuff to cut through here real quick.
There's more?
Yeah, there is.
But
Lots
wait,
of show tonight.
there's more.
We're going to go to a product real quick, and then we're going to hit a quick tech tip, and we're going to come back and wrap this shit up. So
really?
Stick around.
It's past my bedtime.
You're watching Shop
I
Talk.
might melt.
Listen, hey, you're watching Shop Talk.
Whatever.
The product spotlight is brought to you by Drag Specialities, the world's largest distributor of aftermarket accessories.
Hey, this is Chris with Cycle Source Magazine, Grease and Gears TV, and this is your product spotlight. Today's spotlight, we're going to take a look at the Wyatt Gatling Chrome Upsweep Megaphone pipes. A lot of you guys from the chopper world will know that we call these cocktail shakers because of their shape. It's a great, easy way to give your bike a custom look. These ones come with embossed flaps on the end. That's kind of nice. The whole thing slips on easily to your 1 3/4 exhaust. Comes with the mounting straps, everything you need. Check them out today at DennisKirk.com. Tell them the guys from Grease and Gears Garage sent you.
Motorcycle camping. It can be tons of fun, but let me share with you a few hacks and things that can make or break your trip. To begin, small modifications like underseat hooks, luggage rack, and even spare gas can help you prepare. I found this little solar light on Amazon that can charge along the ride. Maybe not traditional, but I love Velcro as it creates extra reusable straps to hold small items or large bags in place while you adjust your luggage straps. Luggage with good straps on them is a must. Always carry tools on your bike, including a neck buff for you in case weather changes and tire repair kit. Check your motorcycle. Every ride, your tires should have the proper air. Bonus points if you've rigged up a USB port to keep your phone and devices charged. Now hit the road and find camp. Let's talk bedding. Don't go cheap here. Sleeping bags should have 2 numbers. Comfort, the minimum you'd be happy at temp, and limit, the you probably won't freeze but you won't be happy temp. Plan accordingly. And get yourself a good sleeping pad. Baby wipes make a quick camp shower, bug repellent is a must, and earplugs, whether silencing people or wind noise, are a huge help. I also brought some fire stuff in that bag and picked up some more on the gas station. I know that Duralogs people have some opinions on, but they're super easy to carry, and the 2 gas stations nearby, because you're supposed to burn it where you get it, did not have anything other than that. And then foraged in the woods for a couple things too. Don't go around breaking things off of trees, and just respect the area that you're in. Again, I can use that USB port to charge my Bluetooth in my helmet and break out the solar light. Neck buff, jack of all trades, good on the bike, good off the bike. All of the layers. The cheap move with motorcycles since they're filled with gasoline. Boom, gas. Why worry about lighter fluid? And the next day, pack it up and keep traveling. Speaking of traveling, did you know that Law Tigers is a national network of lawyers that actively want to help motorcyclists? So if you're injured on a motorcycle anywhere in your travels, there's a lawyer that's an expert in that area. More information in the description below. Give us a follow, and I will see you in the next one.
All right, hey man, welcome back to the Dennis Kirk studio. You're watching Shop Talk. Thanks to Alyssa and everyone over at Law Tigers for the quick tip on motorcycle camping. Man, the show is running on and on tonight. Heather's giving me the we're going late signal. So
Do you know mostly why?
Why?
Because the one trait that I got from my father that I wish I hadn't was this. Do you know how hot it is in my office? I look like Rudolph.
I thought you were doing that because I have to get up at 5 in the morning.
It is so hot that my nose is on fire.
I thought it was all because you knew I had to get up early and work a long day tomorrow, but
no. I'm puffy. I'm puffy.
No, it's
time
so
to go.
red. It's so hot. I'm like dying up here. I'm dying.
I got nothing today. Nothing.
So
no love for Mark today.
Let's check this out.
I do love you.
Smoke out. Bunch of stuff going on the website. If you haven't seen here lately, we are kicking ass.
Like we're making announcements left and right on that sucker.
But listen, this is one of the most important things I have to put out there. We have the history of the smoke out is up on the site now. And dude, it's so great to read this. Like, we lived a big part of it. Michael Lichter, thank you so much for the pictures, because honestly, these guys were all so busy living this stuff that apparently nobody kept any pictures.
We're too drunk.
But it's so great to go back and read this and realize, I mean, you knew that it was a special thing, but when you realize how much this event was responsible for, the biker build-offs, the Guinness Book World Record longest chopper, mini bike racing with costumes, flaming ramp jumps, flaming burnouts, poker chips and motorcycles. Like,
wasn't the smoke out the first chopper prom too?
It was.
Yeah,
it was
first chopper prom.
So the history is there. It's something that was never really done. We're working
not
on
in all one piece.
Yeah, and we're gonna keep adding to it because obviously we didn't get everything in one crack. So the smoke out faithful stick with us, and we'll keep adding to that. We're not gonna drag on through the events and stuff tonight. All of that you can find at Cycle Source Magazine at cyclesource.com.
Click the little calendar.
Yeah, and you can get all that information. We're gonna try to pack it all into another show next week. And for all of you guys, be safe. Keep an eye on the Chix on 66 because they're having a hell of a time out there.
Oh, they're a handful and a half. Holy moly. They're
Mark,
having a good time, though.
I wanted to tell you a special happy Father's Day today. I know this was a hard day, especially for you.
Yeah, this is a sucky one. But
I thought about him 100 times today, too.
Yeah, it was a rough one. Miss you, Dad.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You know what he'd say?
Well, what do I know?
You do what you want. What do I know?
Yes, he would.
All right, man. Listen, we're going to wrap it up.
Funny part is he'd be watching it.
Right?
So,
I know it. I know it. Always was our biggest fan all the time. So, listen, you guys stay safe until next week. Thanks for sharing your headspace with us. And until we can figure out some more shit to bring to you here in the Dennis Kirk Motorcycle Studio, Next Sunday, same chopper time.
Same chopper channel.
Happy Father's Day, Felicia.
Nothing to add there. That's a great show.
We'd like to thank our sponsors for their continued support, and we hope you pay them a visit when you're in the market for great motorcycle parts, products, and events. S&S Cycle, Makuni American, Baco Parts, The Broken Spoke Saloon, Twisted Tea, The Iron Horse Saloon, High Seas Rally, Twisted Choppers, Twin Power, Drag Specialties, Geico, Law Tigers, Tech Cycle, Fueling Parts, Lone Star Rally, Hijinks Apparel, Progressive Insurance, Spectral Oil, No School Choppers, Motion Pro